Good morning.
Morning, Marcia. How are you?
Good, good.
Good. Good. Nice work on all those docs. The lab bring up docs.
Yeah, it's like a draft. A lot of details are still missing, but at least I'm trying to put it as take it out of draft
Yes.
and at least merge what we have so we can make then incremental progress on top.
Yeah. What I saw looked good. So, and I read through everything as of what I think yesterday. So I don't know if there's.
Yeah, I was adding stuff yesterday since I changed all the IP yesterday from public to private.
Okay.
So now everything should be accessed via the VPN only.
Good. And you're able to access the VPN. Did you? I did change it so that you should be able to change your password. Did that work?
I haven't tried after I messaged you.
Okay.
I continue with my work with the IPs and everything.
Got it.
But yeah, I'm able to use it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have changed it to
Right.
the IPs and everything, because the only thing which I left still on public, I believe it's serial connectivity.
Okay.
Because if I lose that, I cannot configure the Tor. I cannot configure anything.
Yeah, exactly.
I cannot even, and then if the Tor doesn't work, yeah, the VPN it's also
doesn't work. Yep.
Yeah. Now I created a user for serial on OPI, and I think it's OPI lab the password, something like this, that only gives access to people to configure via serial if needed Arista 100 gig switch that is used for test, but doesn't let you configure basically the KVM, the thing. So I made a user with limited access.
Okay, good. And did you put that in the 1Password vault?
No, it's not even documented anywhere that I did it.
Okay. Because it looks like to the OPI lab vault, it's just you and I and Laura have access right now.
Yeah, but I kind of share the root password with few people. So
Okay.
I think 2 other people that wanted to do tasking in the lab. So I need to start, I don't know, creating an OPI user or something, and
Yes.
maybe cut that. But see, this is test equipment. I don't want to cut them from servers. It's just that then the KVM and the management part should have a different password than the servers. And servers, they are test. I mean, I don't care. Wipe it clean, start over, run your test, and then we can re-image. That's the whole point. But yeah, the KVM and so on, I may start changing passwords one more time and make only in the vault so we can have access to.
Right. DH1 though we're using as a management server at this point, right? Because we don't have a
because that didn't arise yet, so that's a bit of an overlap there. But it's fine. We'll keep it like this. We'll configure services, and then I'll move the config files whenever the server arrives. There is some. It's like the vendors are not trusting Linux Foundation to pay some money, and everybody does, net 30, net 45, 60, whatever. These guys ask Linux, no, you pay the money and then we start working on the server. Although we already bought from them before. So I'm like, do they have problems getting their money from LF? What was the problem? That they don't accept now anymore. So I don't even think they start working on the server. So I'll email again Sridhar and the vendor today and be like, hey, where's the server? Who has the action item? What's needed? Sridhar initiated a long time ago, but then there was all this mess up where they said, oh, we're not accepting net whatever anymore from you guys.
Interesting. I wonder if LF didn't pay on time. That would be sad to hear, but
yeah. I know that me buying those, I bought some transceivers and stuff. I don't know how it was for you. It took like 2 months or more till I got my money back. It was only $400, but still.
yeah.
And then they made me to make a bill account and have say and put like I'm billing them like a business, and then I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. I know somebody asked me, oh, can we buy an SSD drive? And so I'm like, be my guest, man. Buy it and expense it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not doing it. It's like,
hey guys.
Yeah, I did 2 orders that way, and it the first one took a long time to get paid to get the setup configured. The second one was pretty quick. After I had the
you're
bill.com
already in the
account and all
system,
that.
probably.
Yeah, once I was in the system, it seemed to work.
Okay. Maybe I'll give it another try.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey Laura, how are you?
Hello.
I apologize. I was working on something and it kind of grabbed my attention and my reminder didn't come up. I actually I may have Paul, can you run for this period of time this morning? I'm just having one of those mornings where stuff is getting into the way of everything that I need to do. Is it possible to take over until 10:30 today?
I have a meeting at 10:30 as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So I can go until 10:30.
Okay, so my only thing today or the key thing, I know, Marcia, you wanted to cover some stuff today. There's actually 2 things that I need to take care of. One is I need to give Rahul Sachdev permissions to the GitHub repository. And the other thing that we need to do, which was an ask from Boris, was to get our external lab, our external facing network stuff configured, and not necessarily configured, but sort of visually available. We need to organize some of our data around that. I know we have stuff kind of all over the place, but we actually need some kind of a system for communicating how people will be able to access the lab long term.
Yep.
And I don't know, I know that we have some of that data, but we don't have anything that's really like, here's what you need to do if you want to access this environment. And I think we need to build that. I think that was a perfectly legitimate ask on Boris's part, because we're not going to be the only people using this. Just right now, we're the only people that are sort of like trying to get it pulled together. So
I am fine. I did have a question. So one of the things we wanted to do was use some other system for authentication on the VPN. We had talked about using Git users and using an OAuth connection to do that. But Boris suggested not doing that. So I don't, so right now the VPN's users are set up using a local database on the big IP. So it's something I manually entered for Merchant, and I are the only 2 that have accounts on the VPN right now.
My question is, and I don't know if Boris is online, why not? All the open source projects I work on Git and they have labs, they use Git authentication for the labs also, because then you have your people in Git, you know who to chase. Is this guy, he already made PR, he's already vetted or whatever.
Yeah, I think I just didn't. Boris had a reservation and said we shouldn't do that, so I didn't know what his reservation was. Okay,
I'm curious to find out what are the reasons, because has been successful so far for me.
Yeah. And then what I can do is, if we decide to do that, then I can set up that OAuth connector and use that as an external authentication mechanism. Right now, what I need is a list of people's a login that people want to use, so I can create local accounts. So that'll be something. So I can put out a short Google Doc on how to request an account to get access to it, and where to find information.
That would be great. Thank you, Paul.
Another update is I did purchase a DNS domain, a registration for us. And it's opiproject-lab.org is the DNS domain. And I've got DNS records hosted out there. So it shows up as a real service. And I created a Let's Encrypt SSL certificate, wildcard SSL certificate. So the things on the public network, we can install that certificate and they will appear secure when you open them in the browser.
Do you want to track this on the OPI site or on the GitHub site? I can pull it up and do that.
If you want to track those things there, that would be great. I'm also, Mircea has started a great set of lab documentation, and I will add the information to that once it gets merged.
Yeah, that's right. You were going to do a merge
regardless.
request, weren't you, Mircea?
Okay, but I wanted to review it first and see what to add before I raise it for merging.
Yeah, I think we also probably need to have probably a few more eyes on it than what's just in the room, right?
Yeah, I've reviewed everything that was there as of yesterday morning, and it
Okay.
all looks good to me.
Do we want to bring it up in TSC or do we want to just keep it here? What do you guys want to do?
I don't know that
I mean,
we
we
want
can review it here, and in TSC we say, hey, we review it from our working group. If anybody else wants to review it, this is a PR now.
Okay,
So you have 2 weeks to review it, and after that we're gonna merge it or whatever. We need to give them some time.
that's
Yep.
fine. Okay, let's do that. And Paul, can you handle that action item for the TSC meeting then and say that we
Yes.
reviewed it? Okay. I apologize, you guys. I have something pulling on me in the background today. I would not normally be this inconsistent. I'm just having a kind of a out of band Wednesday. I need to drop off. Can you guys handle this conversation today, or do you want to finish it up next week?
I'm okay with finishing up next week as well. If
Okay.
you want to provide your feedback, or we can finish now and you can provide your feedback offline.
Why don't you send me the document and I'll provide my feedback offline, okay?
I sent the links in Slack already, I believe.
Did you send it? You sent it to the POC working groups Slack?
I send it to you for
Directly.
the agenda today, yeah.
Yeah. Why is it that I'm not seeing the chat from you? Hold on, there it is. Oh, got it. Yeah, thank you. You did send it to me. I apologize. Yeah, I will review this offline and I will provide my feedback in the dev POC platform channel.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And actually, I'm gonna send this and the pull request or the pull to the dev POC.
But it's in a draft form, so I'm gonna do a bit more polishing maybe today, incorporate some feedback from you, Paul, and I think we have somebody else online, but I'm not sure who.
Looks like Drew is here.
And yes, so once we have this feedback, I'll take it out of draft and let everyone go at it.
Perfect.
And hold on, Michelle.
Regarding the IP and access and so on, so once Paul puts together that stuff with VPN access, all the private IPs are already on the diagram. So I updated the diagram in the PR. So now the diagram has the IPs as they are being assigned by the ACP server and so on.
Perfect.
Thank you, Marcia, for doing all of this. It's much appreciated. Okay, I'm gonna step away. I apologize, you guys. I just have like I said, kind of a weird morning happening over
Got
here.
it.
So I appreciate you guys being sensitive to that, and I will speak to all of you at some point in time in the next week. Okay?
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Bye-bye.
So Drew, okay, good enough. All right, Marcia, I'll put together a quick how to access the lab doc, and how to get a VPN account. And do you want to tackle asking Boris why he didn't want to use GitHub as a authentication mechanism?
Yeah, I'll make actually a proposal, and I don't know, let him comment publicly on what's
Sounds good. All right. Thank you, sir. I'll talk to you later.
all right, thank you. Bye bye.